It's dark 30 on a Saturday morning, probably about an hour until sunrise, and yet here we are at Huntington Beach, and there's a parking lot already full of hot rods. Come on, we got to show you this event that they call Donut Derelicts. For more than 20 years, these early birds have been squeezing their performance cars into this tiny strip mall every weekend. Some are here to show, others to sell, but without a doubt, everyone's here to check out the cool cars and just be part of the community.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that have just loved cars, and they love working on them, and they love talking about them, and they love touching and feeling.
So this is the drill. You come into the donut shop, you get your coffee and donuts, and then you start going through the parking lot to look at the cars. And they got a lot to look at here. Cars that are not restored, cars that are fully restored, and those that are outrageously customized. You got to take a look. If you look around these 200 or so parking spaces, you can see virtually any kind of American performance car or truck. Some that look like they came right off a Detroit assembly line, others that were customized, and even a few that look like they were built by Dr. Frankenstein. Like this 46 Ford cab married to a Chevy truck bed with a Cadillac engine and Mustang seats. What do you like about the rat look to this?
I just like the whole thing, all the kids are doing it, building the rat cars. They get the old recipes from the old timers. They put it all together, and they just live the life.
But Donut Derelicts is more about the classics than it is the contraptions, like this Roadster Mick Ford bought a few years ago from his friend.
Just open air car, and I like the group of people, and there's just a lot you can do with them. They're a lot of fun. They're a fair weather car, I know that, but California's got a lot of fair weather, so.
The other interesting thing you find here is that every car usually has a story behind it. Take, for example, Roger Peachel's and his 1940 Pontiac Woody.
The car, when it was originally sold, was to the Sussex Point Fire Department in upstate New York, 1939. They took the car and painted it completely red. The wood, everything was red, which and preserved it. You can see a little patina in the wood here where the red is still showing through a little bit.
And there you have the essence of Donut Derelicts. Sleepy eyes mixed with American muscle, and a good dose of interesting characters who all come to Huntington Beach to celebrate the hot rod.
I make more money wheeling and dealing on cars than I do working.
It's a work in progress all the time, like a painting, it's never finished.
Everybody gives you the thumb instead of the other finger.
Well, now it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We've moved farther south down the 405 to Irvine, California, where I'm standing in the parking lot of Mazda's headquarters for an event, again, they hold every single Saturday. They call it Cars and Coffee. Very different kind of cars, very different kind of people than what we saw at Donut Derelicts. In fact, probably a better way to have this all explained as to what it's about is I'm going to talk with John Kleinert, a guy who's very key in organizing this event. But first, a little history. This gathering started life as something called Crystal Cove in a strip mall by the Pacific Ocean. As word spread and too many vintage cars came, they quickly outgrew the spot. That's when Ford's John Kleinert stepped in, helped relocate the event to Irvine, and thus, Cars and Coffee was born.
And in October of '06, we invited people to come here on a trial basis, and I guess the trials worked out pretty well because we have over 500 cars here today. It's a full house, and all kinds of cars, all kinds of people. It's just a celebration of the love affair with the automobile.
Donut Derelict seems to be much more muscle, hot rod. How would you characterize everybody who's here?
Crystal Cove earned the nickname Croissant Derelicts.
A bit more upscale.
There are quite a few Ferraris and Porsches and such here, but all kinds of cars. Here you will find literally everything. We have everything from Model T Fords. I saw a 29 Chrysler come in, a 34 Packard. And we have Ferrari Enzos and quite a few Ford GTs, Celine Mustangs. Reeves Callaway brings his Callaway Corvette every Saturday. So it's everything. Today we're happy to feature Alfa Romeo. So we've got a segregated lot with, I would guess, about 70 Alfa Romeos of all vintages here. about once a month we'll feature a certain make of car, then today it's Alfa Romeo. So that's part of the allure of this event, because people come every week not knowing what they're going to see.
This event may be bigger and more exclusive than Donut Derelicts, but there's no shortage of characters. Take Robin Blanche. He loved everything about his Alfa Romeo GTV6 except the body. So he built his own, the way he insists that Alfa should be building them anyway. So after a few designs, a few clay and foam models, and one custom tube chassis later, he had his new body. How long does it take somebody to build something like this?
Well, I hate answering that question because it took a lot longer than I'd really like. But it took me a little over 10 years to do it, all told.
Cars and Coffee may be filled with your high-end Ferraris, Alfas, and Jags, but it's not all just big-ticket cars. There are some classics that show up every week and sometimes even driven by their one and only owner. Now, wait a minute. You bought this car in when?
In 1946.
And you've had it ever since?
I've had it ever since my very first car, yeah.
I gotta be impolite. How old are you?
I'm 88.
88 years old, and you've had this car all this time, and it looks beautiful. Well, beauty is both plentiful and fleeting here at Cars and Coffee, because it's a short 3 hours before folks start pulling away. Well, you know, it's not even mid-morning and this place is already clearing out. But you know what? If you didn't get a chance to look at the cars that you wanted, come on again next Saturday or the Saturday after that. That's what's so great about this Cars and Coffee event. They do it every single week.